Precious Remedies Against Satan's Devices, a book from Thomas Brooks. A very interesting book, and I would highly recommend you to buy this book. For now, it is still available because we do not know for how long all these valuable books are available. And I would highly recommend you to buy this book. It gives a very good in-depth understanding of how Satan deceives believers and non-believers. Better said, how Satan deceives all God's children. And he writes in forms of devices and remedies. So yesterday I started with the first part of chapter 3, Satan's devices to keep souls from holy duties, to hinder souls in holy services, and to keep them off from religious performances. And today we do part 2 of this, and we are going into device 2. The second device that Satan hath to draw the soul from holy duties and to keep them off from religious services is by presenting to them the danger and the losses and the sufferings that do attend the performance of such and such religious services. By this device, Satan kept those that believed on Christ from confessing of Christ. In John 12, verse 42, nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed on him. But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue. I would walk in all the ways of the living God. I would give up myself to the strictest way of holiness. But I am afraid dangers will attend me on the one hand, and losses, and haply such and such sufferings on the other hand, saith many a man. Oh, how should we help ourselves against this temptation and device of Satan? And here comes the first of, I think, 3 or 4 remedies. Remedy 1. The first remedy against this device of Satan is to consider that all the troubles and afflictions that you meet within a way of righteousness shall never hurt you. They shall never harm you. And who is he that shall harm you, if you be followers of that which is good, saith the apostle, i.e., none shall harm you. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 13. Natural conscience cannot but do homage to the image of the living God, stamped upon the natures, words, works, and life of the godly, as we may see in the carriage of Nebuchadnezzar and Darius towards Daniel. All afflictions and troubles that do attend men in a way of righteousness can never rob them of their treasure, of their jewels. They may rob them of some slight things, as the sword that is by their side, or the stick in their hand, or of the flowers or ribbons that be in their heads. The treasures of a saint are the presence of the living God, the favor of the living God, union and communion with the living God, the pardon of sin, the joy of the Spirit, the peace of conscience, which are jewels that none can give but Christ, nor none can take away but Christ. Now why should a gracious soul keep off from a way of holiness? Because of afflictions? When no afflictions can strip a man of his heavenly jewels, which are his ornaments and his safety here, and will be his happiness and glory hereafter. Why should that man be afraid or troubled for storms at sea, whose treasures are sure in a friend's hand upon land? Why, a believer's treasure is always safe in the hands of Christ. His life is safe, his soul is safe, his grace is safe, his comfort is safe, and his own crown is safe in the hand of Christ. I know him in whom I have believed, and that he is able to keep that which I have committed unto him until that day, saith the apostle. In 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 12, the child's most precious things are most secure in his Father's hands. So are our souls, our graces, and our comforts in the hand of Christ. The second remedy against this device of Satan is to consider that other precious saints that were shining lights on earth and are now triumphing in heaven have held on in religious services, notwithstanding all the troubles and dangers that have surrounded them. Nehemiah and Ezra were surrounded with dangers on the left hand and on the right, and yet in the face of all they held on building the temple and the wall of Jerusalem. So Daniel and those precious worthies. Psalm 44 verse 19 and verse 20. Under the want of outward encouragements and in the face of a world of very great discouragements, their souls clave to God and his ways, though they were sore broken in the place of dragons and covered with the shadow of death. Ye, though they were all the day long counted as sheep for the slaughter, yet their hearts were not turned back, neither did their steps decline from his ways. Though bonds and imprisonments did attend Paul and the rest of the apostles in every place, yet they held on in the work and service of the Lord. And why then should you degenerate from their worthy examples, which is your duty and your glory to follow? 2 Corinthians 6 verse 5 and Hebrews 11 verse 36. The third remedy against this device of Satan is solemnly to consider that all the troubles and dangers that do attend the performance of all holy duties and heavenly services are but temporal and momentary. But the neglect of them may lay thee open to all temporal, spiritual, and eternal dangers. How shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation? Hebrews 2 verse 3. He saith not, if we reject or renounce so great salvation. No, but if we neglect or shift off so great salvation, how shall we escape? That is, we cannot by any way or any means or device in the world escape. Divine justice will be above us, in spite of our very souls. The doing of such and such heavenly services may lay you open to the thrones of men, but the neglect of them will lay you open to the thrones of God. The doing of them may render you contemptible in the eyes of men, but the neglect of them may render you contemptible in the eyes of the living God. The doing of them may be the loss of thy estate, but the neglect of them may be the loss of the living God, Christ, heaven, and thy soul forever. The doing of them may shut thee out from some outward temporal contents. The neglect of them may shut thee out from that excellent, matchless glory that eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither hath it entered into the heart of man. Isaiah 64 verse 4. Remember this, there is no man that breathes but shall suffer more by neglecting those holy and heavenly services that God commends and rewards, that he can possibly suffer by doing of them. And then the fourth, there are 5 remedies. The fourth remedy against this device of Satan is to consider that the Almighty living God knows how to deliver from troubles by troubles, from afflictions by afflictions, from dangers by dangers. God, by lesser troubles and afflictions, doth oftentimes deliver his people from greater, so that they shall say, We had perished if we had not perished. We had been undone if we had not been undone. We had been in danger if we had not been in danger. So God will so order the afflictions that befall you in the way of righteousness, that your souls shall say, We would not for all the world, but that we had met with such and such troubles and afflictions. For surely, had not these befallen us, it would have been worse and worse. On the on the carnal security, pride, formality, dead-heartedness, lukewarmness, censoriousness, and earthliness that God hath cured us of by the trouble and dangers that we have met with in the ways and services of the Lord. I remember a story of a godly man that, as he was going to take shipping for France, he broke his leg, and it pleased Providence so to order it, that the ship that he should have gone in at that very instant was cast away, and not a man saved. So by breaking a bone, his life was saved. So the Lord many times breaks our bones, but it is in order to the saving of our lives and our souls forever. He gives us a portion that makes us heartsick, but it is in order to the making us perfectly well, and to the purging of us from those ill humors that have made our heads ache, and God's heart ache, and our souls sick and heavy to the death. Oh, therefore, let no danger or misery hinder thee from thy duty. The last remedy, and so the last piece of this interesting teaching, the fifth remedy against this device of Satan is solemnly to consider that you shall gain more in the service of God and by walking in righteous and holy ways, though troubles and afflictions should attend you, than you can possibly suffer or lose by your being found in the service of the living God. Godliness is great gain. 1 Timothy 6 verse 6. Oh, the joy, the peace, the comfort, the rest that saints meet with in the ways and service of God. They find that religious services are not empty things, but things in which God is pleased to discover His beauty and glory to their souls. My soul thirsts for God, saith David, that I might see thy beauty and thy glory as I have seen thee in thy sanctuary. Psalm 63 verse 2. Oh, the sweet looks, the sweet words, the sweet hints, the sweet joggings, the sweet influences, the sweet love letters that gracious souls have from heaven when they wait upon God in holy and heavenly services, the least of which will darken and outweigh all the bravery and glory of this world, and richly recompense the soul for all the troubles, afflictions, and dangers that have attended it in the service of the living God. Oh, the saints can say under all their troubles and afflictions that they have meat to eat and drink to drink that the world knows not of, that they have such incomes, such refreshments, such warmings that they would not exchange for all the honors, riches, and dainties of this world. Let but a Christian compare his external losses with his spiritual internal and external gain, and he shall find that for every penny that he loses in the service of God, he gains a pound, and for every pound that he loses, he gains 100. For every 100 lost, he gains 1,000. We lose pins in his service and find pearls. We lose the favor of the creature and peace with the creature, and haply the comforts and contents of the creature, and we gain the favor of the living God, peace with conscience, and the comforts and contents of a better life. Did the men of this world know the sweet that saints enjoy in afflictions? They would rather choose Manasseh's iron chain than his golden crown. They would rather be Paul a prisoner than Paul wrapped up in the third heaven. For light afflictions they shall have a weight of glory for a few afflictions. They shall have these joys, pleasures, and contents that are as the stars of heaven, or as the sands of the sea that cannot be numbered. For momentary afflictions they shall have an eternal crown of glory. It is but winking, and thou shalt be in heaven presently, said the martyr. But a real martyr, not because most martyrs in this world are not the type of martyr that some were in the time of Jesus Christ. O therefore, let not afflictions or troubles work thee to shun the ways of the living God, or to quit that service that should be dearer to thee than a world, yea, than thy very life. And the next time I will do device free. There are, I think, 8 devices. So it will be probably 8 parts. So thank you so much for listening, and I wish you all a sparkling and brightful day with a lot of love and joy and peace and happiness and a good communion with the Almighty Living God, the Father Himself, and that the glory and the truth and the wisdom of our Lord Jesus Christ will fill your lamp and thus your heart. God bless you.